Bert was going to come and he said, no, somebody else is here. Okay, well, we'll call the meeting to order then. And review the minutes of the previous meeting. Anyone have any additions or corrections?
I would make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Okay.
And moved and seconded that we accept the minutes of the previous meeting as presented. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Rules of financial statements.
You know, look at your payable journal. I have one at your desk also. Middle Apple computer, Apple TV, middle of the page there. Those are we bought. Had to replace 3. There's the screens that we use or that provide computer to the screen, computer projector type situation. So we had to replace 3.
Grade school?
And we got, no, this high school.
Okay.
BC Diesel work on the international bus. That was on Raymond's bus. We had replaced all the injectors. Looks pretty costly, but again, it's the first major repair we've done on his bus. We had it for 3 years. With all the mud we've had, it's going to be a tough year on bus repairs, I think, before it's over. I hope not, but a lot of mud.
done to the Ford van?
A Ford van, that was, we used that, to replace an oil pan. I hit a rock on one of the dirt roads. That's our old Ford van.
On the middle of page 2, reimbursed for volleyball jerseys?
Oh, she was gonna buy it, and then she decided not to.
Oh, okay.
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 Yep.
I was just
Yep.
curious.
I thought the same thing when I saw it. Yep. That she bought it, and then she decided she didn't want it.
Okay.
Okay.
Softball helmets, direct sports at the bottom of page 2.
Yeah. Those,
How many was that?
that was 10. 18? Oh, good.
Better deal yet?
Yeah, thank you.
Don't soften it up just because I
Yeah.
have.
Easy better. Anything on page 2 or 3?
The Goodman distribution, that's part of our boiler going in at Lucas. It's the
Yes.
boiler supplies.
Where was that at?
At the very bottom.
Yes, thank you. Yep. That's all. See that 35? That's for our gift, which we got. Same thing at the bottom of page 4. It's
Jan O'Connor.
all the boilers. They were delivered this weekend. Middle of page 5, middle very interactive. That's our Spanish course for the second semester. Right below that, MJ Enterprise again. That's boilers, new ones.
Is that his labor cost?
Yes.
Is that plan book, is that yearly? Our yearly price, or is that a monthly?
Annual.
Annual?
Annual.
Thank you.
Any other questions on the payroll journal? Okay. On the page 4 on the expense budget report. Okay, expenditures, you can see $1,441,000. Last year at this time was $1,442,000. Percent remaining, 39.61. Last year was 37.33. That's all I have.
Any additions or corrections for the bills and financial statements?
Move we accept the bills and financial statements as presented. I'll second.
Been moved and seconded that we accept the bills and financial statements as presented. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, guests, we have Mr. Hill, Mrs. Veneta, and Mrs. Swati. Thanks, everyone. And then we'll move on to new business, the grade school report. Mrs. Veneta.
Yep. You should have a green page in front of you. I'll just hit some highlights. We're doing a spring parent-teacher conference. So what we did as teachers, we're meeting with the parents we really want to see with. The teachers or the kids' parents that we really don't need to see, we exempted them because in 4 hours, like I teach 60-some kids, there's no way I can meet 60 parents in a 4-hour slot. So we've exempted them. It doesn't mean they can't come if they want. They still can. We'll try to work them in. So we're seeing how that's going to go. We're looking at state testing schedules. The window's actually opened up now, and I think I'm the first to start be next week. Usually they take a 45 to an hour minutes, but if the kid needs longer, they can take longer. Our class periods are 45 to 50, so it always goes into the next class, so kind of have to work on that. Mr. Batchman participated polar plunge again. He did raise $504, and I think for an individual, he's top person again.
Yeah.
So he did find the kids had fun raising money for that. 5th and 6th graders did a really good job at the music contest. There's a lot of solos, and of course they did their group chorus, so that was Monday, March 4th. I'm not going to highlight on all the teachers. They kind of got some stuff there. You can kind of read through that. We'll highlight Mrs. Keller on March 1 for Dr. Seuss' birthday. She had some guest speakers come in, Mrs. Meyer, Virginia Vetter, who used to be Virginia Meitler, Stephanie Swati. They came and read to the kids, and of course Mr. Steckline read a book too. And of course they ended the day with Callie's cookies, which can't beat that. Mrs. Laberty, she had Sandy come in. They talked bees for long E sounds, and kind of started a little bit with Dr. Seuss unit also. Neat experiment they did in science. Took a hard-boiled egg, put one in water, milk, and pop, and then let the kids see what happens to the egg after in there a while. So that was kind of a neat thing. Mr. Steckline has a really neat book there. The first graders published. It's called A Little Bit of Awesomeness. Each student did a little bit with it, so maybe sometime tonight you might want to look through the book. And so that's kind of a neat thing with there. You see in some of the other teachers' things they're doing. A lot of the focus is on math and science and reading. You see a lot of that. Mrs. Ladd's reading, 5th grade's reading Friendle, 4th grade's reading Homework Machine, which is a kind of neat book, how the kids wish they had a homework machine to help them do their work. And Mrs. Ladd and several of the teachers, we are having some kids do an after school. They're doing it 2 days a week, Monday, Thursday, till the bus picks them up. Usually the kids that are failing, many of the times they're not turning in work, so I compliment those teachers that are staying on their own time. Mr. Steckline, are they there till 4:30 or 5?
4:30.
4:30, so compliment them. Last page, Mrs. Batchman, she's very pleased with how her kindergartners have advanced. They mastered all their 45 sight words, know the color words, number words, and are getting into some first grade skills. So doing lots of math there too. So any questions you might have?
You don't have anything on here about Thursday?
What's the parent teacher conferences or what?
314.
Oh, Pie Day?
Hi there.
I already did my Pie Day with my sixth graders, so we've already had our pie, sorry.
Oh,
We did that earlier, it came in our book and kids, we wanted to do it, so. I know, it does, it is fun to do, so. Well, thank you for guys, all your work.
I do have one.
Yes.
And apparently things are going better because I haven't heard anything but the problems we were having with some of the so-called bullying with the cell phones. I haven't heard anything, so is that?
No news is good news is what we say.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of the parents realize so much of this is happening at home. And I hope the parents are watching more of what's going on because when they walk in our class, we don't hear it. And it's before school, it's when they're going home, it's at home. They're on their phones all the time. You go to ball games, what are they doing? On their phone. It's crazy, but yeah, no news is good news on that, so. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So you cancel, is that you, Stephanie?
Actually, Mr. Steckling volunteered to do it.
Well, Stephanie was gonna help. The only thing we had a really good, I thought it was a good discussion on our finals, our attendance policy, how that all started, and how it's working in the high school, and I guess questions were as far as we get our kids, in school, maybe that shouldn't be in a school. We've had that discussion before, but I thought it was a pretty good conversation. Mr. Starkey, you had anything to add on that? Yep. Mrs. Whitey, anything to add?
No, I think it was just something to be brought up. Somebody just didn't have kids up in this building yet, and just wanted to ask some questions, and we kind of discussed the pros and the cons both of it. So
Other things that we talk about all the time. And the other good thing was the Booster Club is going to present 4 $250 scholarships to the seniors this year.
Wow.
I think last year they did 2, bigger class, so they're going to do 4. No, other than that, we ended in pretty positive comments, and that was the only item we discussed.
Okay, thank you. Review of board members and files.
Well, we have 4. Let's see, we have 4 that'll be getting off, or can get off. Rhonda, Kelsey, David, and Mark will be all up this year. Again, this would be, I think, the first time that we've had for the new way we're doing things as far as taking office in January, I believe. But anyway, I just want to let you know that you guys are up and that you have to file by June 1st at noon if we're due.
Did you say the four? Me, Dave, Rhonda, and who's the fourth one?
Kelsey,
Oh, that would be.
or Kendra, I'm sorry. Kendra, Kelsey was you two. Kelsey's 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you threw me.
Yep. I just want to let you know, and hope you all file.
What's the
Anyway,
day? What's June what?
June 1st at noon.
I knew.
Yep. Okay.
Public
And then primary elections, if we have primaries, they'll be held in August. And then the general elections are held on the Tuesday following the first Monday of November.
School board wouldn't be listed in the primaries, though, would it?
Yeah.
It would?
According to my thing, yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have
I thought, okay.
more than one.
Yeah.
You have more than one? What I have anyway, primary elections are held the first Tuesday in August.
Depends on how many
No.
file
Yeah.
for your position.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, public relations.
That's the, they had this annual, the last couple of years, this takes place Tuesday, March 19th. This will be at the state capitol. It's early in the morning from 7:30 a.m. to 9:30. It's their coffee rolls and conversation. If anybody would like to go, I know that's early in the morning, but just let me know if you'd like to go, talking with the legislators.
Are you going?
I'm going to try to go, yes. Okay. If anybody's interested, let me know. Okay.
And then the Lincoln County Hazmet exercise, March 23rd, 2019.
There you go. You have information for us?
I'm just going to hand out
Yep.
the injects that are being worked on or talked about or discussed, or injects to improve the county and all those entities, the nursing home, the hospital, law enforcement, EMS, and the school district are supposed to be working on correcting. Again, this exercise will show deficiencies that we have in training, or any deficiencies that we have, not just necessarily in training, but deficiencies in our programs or the way we have things set up currently for the school district. With the exercise, on the morning of the 23rd, and again, I had this cover letter that I sent out with emails to Mrs. Berger, Mr. Keller,
Ms. Cracky.
Cracky, and FCA.
Dr. Newman.
Thank you, Dr. Neal, along with a parental permission or a waiver form to be signed by the parents of anybody under the age of 18 participating in the exercise. And again, this is the cover letter that I sent with this to the teachers. This letter is being sent to you requesting your permission to have your child participate in a full-scale exercise on Saturday, March 23rd, 2019. I am asking for your child to be at the Sylvan High School parking lot at 8 o'clock to ride a school bus over for the exercise at 9 a.m. Players will get moulage makeup applied to them. The exercise will start at 10 with lunch being held for the participants between 11:30 and 1 o'clock, and the volunteers should be done at the exercise no later than 2 p.m. I'm requesting students involved in FFA, National Honor Society, Ks, and FCA to participate in the exercise. The exercise is testing core capabilities of USD299, Lincoln County Hospital, Lincoln Park Manor, as well as Lincoln County EMS and law enforcement. The exercise will have 20 children involved in a mock scenario school bus accident involving a semi. Sylvan Grove USD299 is testing some of the response plans and will have the superintendent as well as bus driver involved. First responders will get the individuals off the bus, have them go through a decon process, and get transported to the hospital for treatment. Again, this is an exercise with no risk in a controlled environment. Should you have any questions as to the request for the students of USD299 to participate, I would gladly speak to you of your concern. Once your child brings the attached participant waiver form home to you, please discuss with your child or children in parentheses and return the form to USD299 sponsor of the organization that they are involved in. Thank you, and I have my name at the bottom of the letter. Mrs. Berger has said that she would assign what's the word I'm looking for?
Extra
Allow
credit.
extra credit.
Thank you. Would allow extra credit for participation in that event. I know my daughter, I think your daughter, and a lot of the 8th grade I was hoping would be able to assist with that day. I know that's the morning after the junior high dance, but I'm still in hopes of that. Again, looking for 20 kids. And again, with the decon, depending on the weather, I heard a potential for rain that day, so if it is nasty and cold, we will not do the water there on scene. Once they get transported to the hospital, though, the hospital has a decontamination shower that they've never utilized, so they're wanting to test some of that core capabilities of how that works, having the kids or the the people involved in the accident or the exercise go through get off the ambulance, and rather than going through the emergency bay doors, there's a door to the right of those, and that's their decontamination shower room, and they'll just kind of herd you through the shower, and then once you decon in the shower, towel off and whatnot, then you get admitted into the ER. So that's one of the things that they're working on, as well as the capacity of what they can treat at their facility. I know they're kind of nervous right now because their hospital's full. So they're a little worried about their ableness or willingness to be able to participate in the exercise. But again, with the weather or the hospital, for example, again, I've been asked for an alternative date, and I've said we're going to test. That date, I can't control the weather. Real life scenario, I can't control that either. So
the hospital's full, the weather, nothing. Now, I know you got carry a pretty big stick.
Did you sign a waiver yet?
Why?
Your wife signed one for you. So
Yes, you did.
yes. So
Does that mean I have to participate in?
something like that. So again, I look forward to the actual event and the day. Get nervous, just all the injects that are going to happen, and not everything that's an injectable thing will be graded on, but they will be looking at how the school district responds to the questions that are asked of the school district, and I think I just saw two in there. But again, like with that, I previously spoke to Mr. Keller, and they'd asked him to, if he would be available that morning to bring a bus over to Lincoln, that the kids could ride over from here on, and he said yes. So at some point, I just need him to do a release form, and again, that he would be the bus driver that day. And he said, yeah, sure, I can't help, but I could participate. So he was willing to do that. Well, with that, Todd Mann's the facilitator of the exercise. He's going to be in town Friday, March 22nd, and we have the final planning meeting at 2 o'clock that afternoon in the basement of the courthouse. And with that day that you come over.
Yes, I'll be there.
Okay,
Check you down.
thank you.
Yep. Unless the weather's bad.
Okay, Mark.
I'm just kidding. I should be there.
With that,
I should.
would you be able to bring a school bus over there? And
Sure.
then that day, we could put it out by the county fuel facility to where the exercise is going to happen at. I've got a semi that's being brought up from Ellsworth Service Center that will lend to the realness of the accident.
Okay. So
And
you
I-
wanted there that day?
That day, the oldest bus we have.
Oh, okay.
Bring it over.
Okay.
And I
Then
can
we'll
give you a
leave
ride.
it there.
Yes, please. And then I would give you a ride back over here that afternoon.
Okay. Gotcha.
Any other questions?
This is a school question. Am I getting CEUs out of this?
Potential for.
Seriously?
You're getting fed.
Well, I know, but seriously, are we getting EMS out of it? Is this?
That would be a question for the EMS director.
Get on him and make sure he gets it approved.
I will
'Cause
run that up. I will
what's this
run that
gonna
up
be,
the
like
flagpole
4 hours?
from 9 o'clock report time to 3:30 after the hot wash gets done. And the hot wash, as far as correctable things that we can do and whatnot.
I see we're probably gonna talk about this Wednesday night too.
Yes.
We got 48 hours to get that done then.
Yes. So again, if anybody wanted to come not participate, but even just come watch the exercise or any part of it, again, please fill out a waiver form. I brought some over here tonight. I don't know, all three of you are anxiously sitting over there. So, again, it's open to the public also. So,
How are we doing on?
I'd have to check the envelope, see what we had.
We got some in there, but I don't know how many.
okay. But I have some kids from Lincoln too.
I think we're
Some-
short of 20 for sure. I'd say about 10.
And I have at least 4, possibly 3 more, so that'd get us to 17. So,
Close.
yeah, I'm not. Yes, I'm concerned. I'm
Yeah.
getting nervous, but just the overall functionality and the finality of the exercise. So we'll be okay.
Yeah. Okay, any more questions about the hazmat exercise then? If not, we will move on. Social worker.
Well, it's we have a social worker that that's through our special ed co-op that we get 2 times a week, Mondays and Wednesdays. Is that right? Mondays and Wednesdays. Both high school, spend some time at the high school, mostly at the grade school, and anyway, does a lot of counseling and working with kids, and just like to be able to maybe look at hiring our own social worker. I'm trying to get Lloyd give us another day on her, but like I said, she works with Lloyd. She have the other 3 days of Lloyd, and it's hard to find social workers, and I don't know what's all out there, but I guess I'd like permission just to look to see if we could get a social worker for our district. A lot of needs with a lot of kids that we have. Grade school, I see a lot of grade school especially, and high school too, but it seems like when you get to high school, it's kind of filtered out, but there's still some need there too also. But it'd be nice to have somebody, most of social workers, this gal, she has a counseling background too, which helps. So I think that's part of it too, what kind of person you get. So anyway, I'd just like permission to kind of look to see what's out there and see if maybe we could get a social worker for our district. Again, money's always tight. We're looking at that too. A lot of it depends on what the legislators do. But anyway, I guess what I'm asked for is just permission to kind of look to see what's out there. And like I said, like all fields, they're hard to find. It's a field that's a lot of them go into their own work or the State Department, those type of things. So, but anyway, any questions on that?
Does Lincoln have their own social
Yes,
worker?
they did. They were. I think this year they hired their own this year. They were in the same kind of boat we were 2 years ago, 3 years ago. They shared with Lloyd Special Ed. I think they had two times, 2.5, whatever it was. But then they decided to get their own, so I hired someone. So, and it's like I said, it's one of those things that a lot of kids need help, but for different types of things. And a lot of times teachers need that help. So anyway, that's kind of brought that up to see what I could find or what we could come up with.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Yeah.
Today's world.
Mrs. Renee, you have any comment on that?
Oh, it's a high need. We've
Yeah.
got so many kids that
Yeah.
when she's there, she's busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody have a problem with him exploring that possibility? You want a motion on that, or?
No, I just want
Just
consensus.
by
Yep.
Everybody good
Yep.
with that?
Yep. It's fine.
Okay, there you go, by consensus then. Okay, policy updates.
You should have some on your desk. What I'd like to do is have you take these home and look at them. There's a few of them that are pretty short, won't take much, but the other ones are some lengthy ones. So I'd like to kind of take those home and we'll go over them next board meeting. Okay. Does everybody have one? Good. I'll put everyone in together. These come out in December. I always forget. Pam's got to remind me all the time. Policy updates. So, like I said, I should have got these to you last month, but we still have time. This is for next year. But anyway, if you can kind of go through these, and I think there was 15 total. I kind of go through them and kind of pick the ones that kind of affects us, pertains to us, and update some of the policies we already had. So, if you could take those with you and look them over, and we'll review them. Go over them next week. 3, 4, 5. I think CN, EBBE, JG, FG, and KCB.
There's one on emergency drills. Have they ever kind of clarified, still haven't clarified what like the lockdown?
The emergency drills,
Emergency drills, man.
Just that way I can do 9 of them.
pretty open-ended.
Did you see that little, what was it, Shawnee Station or Olathe last week where they had that guy that across the street in that house that he called in a threat or something, so they put the building on lockdown. Well, then they let all the, that was earlier in the day, and then they put the school was out there, all the parents were showing up, and then he started, this is hell, the cops showed up, they came. Anyways, he started shooting while there. The kids and the parents and all were out right across the street. They were all around. Nobody got hit, but that was a pretty scary deal. Took it really bad.
So if you want to look those over for next time, I appreciate it a little quicker that way.
All right, we'll move on to the principal report.
You have one at your desk. Start off with our regional basketball. We hosted the tournament this year. There weren't any issues, but we did have to adjust the schedule a couple of times due to the weather, but we got the games in. We got a good crowd. When we host that backside of the league tournament, we hope to pay for half of our officials, and with regionals, with the crowds we got to take home some money, so it's nice to host that. State wrestling, February 22nd, 23rd, Trey Barrientos, sophomore, participated in that. He's for his second year. This year, he went a day further. He won his first match, or lost his first match, won his second, which moved him into Saturday, and then lost his first match in his season with the double elimination format. On the 26th, we had Junior High League Scholars Bowl at Teskett, and both our 8th and 7th grade teams won their division. March 4th, we hosted the Junior High Music Festival. Including us, there were only 3 schools. One school wasn't able to make it because of the weather that day. We had a late start that day because of the cold, but we still had over 100 entries in the contest. And then last Tuesday, we had the YEC, the Youth Entrepreneurship Challenge over in Lincoln. This is the second annual event. I believe Andrea Haber got second with her greenhouse business that she actually operates. And then third place went to 4 seniors, Kylie, Ray Meyer, Delaney Harold, Bailey Evans, and Tegan Walter. Their business proposal was to sell hemp products in Lucas. medical. So those are the two, second and third, and the first place winner was from Lincoln. And then last Friday, we hosted our Sweetheart festivities. We had a good crowd for the crowning, I thought. Our queen was Caitlin Schoen, and our king was Bo Batchman. I thought the dance went well. So we were able to get that in, which was good, important for the kids. Some of our upcoming events, tomorrow we're going to have Daniel Craig from Tobacco Prevention out of Salina. He's going to present to classes throughout the morning on vaping and the dangers of. And then he's also going to present to parents and community in the evening at 7 p.m. And then Thursday we have our parent-teacher conferences from 4 to 8. And if we jump ahead a week, MPL powerlifting on the 21st at Wilson. Junior high dance on the 22nd, that Friday. We got it off of the Luray Fish Fry. And then I have some field trips. Our 8th graders are going to go to Kearney on the 29th. The 8th graders are also going to go to NCK 8th grade day on the 5th of April. And then we have 7th grade to Rolling Hills on April 12th. We have our league speech April 1st. If I jump back up a little bit, that's at Lincoln this year. We usually rotate between Lincoln and us. Then we have cheer tryouts on April 5th. Currently, we probably have 10 or 11 girls signed up for that, so try out to 8. And then we have prom on April 12th. This year's theme is A Night on the Ocean. Some of the seniors are worried, though, because our juniors also have an electric car race, I think, on the 11th, so they're worried they won't be working on prom. They'll be working on the electric car, so we'll see. On the back page there, I have participation numbers for this spring. Baseball, we have a senior, a junior, 2 sophomore, and 2 freshmen. 7 from Lincoln, giving us 13. And then softball, we have 6 seniors, 1 junior, 1 freshman, and 6 from Lincoln, giving us 14. So you see the need for the co-op there with softball. Junior track, we have good numbers. 4 boys, 12 girls in the 8th grade. 7th grade, 10 boys, 10 girls for 20. So we got a few that aren't participating, but we've really worked on getting more kids out so they can at least participate. And then high school track, we've got big freshman and sophomore numbers. On the girls' side, 4 freshmen, 3 sophomores, 2 juniors, 4 seniors. And then on the boys' side, 6 freshmen, 7 sophomores, 1 junior, and 3 seniors. So close to 30 different track. Big track team.
Did the golf not develop?
The issue we were coming into play was transportation and how we would get kids. You know, if you're going to provide it for one person, you're going to have to provide it for everybody, which then means some people aren't going to be able to provide transportation. And we felt like if you as a school couldn't have a plan to get kids to practice and back, that we couldn't pull it off. So that's what it came down to for us.
Will that be revisited at any other point, or?
It will be. I mean, it's something we can always look at. The question is, once if it's juniors and seniors who can drive over to practice, it's one thing. But once you have to start, and then you start looking at the activity routes and the way our activity routes go, and how you get them back, and how you provide. I just think if it's going to be a sport, you got to offer the same opportunities as far as getting kids to and from that you do for everything else. I think that's our issue. We built a golf course in Sylvan. We'll probably fix that.
Well, we can.
During this exercise, I will pass away, and I will, any of my life insurance money, I will just.
Yeah.
Make sure you're lucky if you make it to this exercise.
Exactly. So.
Make sure you get enough for the sprinkler system, so the grass stains.
We could finish the one that was started here when the building was built.
Is that right? Where's that at?
There was a golf hole in each corner of the grounds. There was a sand bake. Yeah, those guys, they put sand greens.
We'll get the metal detector out. I'm sure we can find it.
Yeah. So I mean, you're almost halfway there. There's 4 holes if you can find them.
Across.
Another question. How was the vaping presentation advertised to the general public?
We posted on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen it on the sign downtown,
Okay.
and here in Sylvan anyway.
Okay.
I think Lisa Shell had some flyers. She sent some over some flyers. If you get some of that getting around. Yeah.
Also, some league news. Next year's league volleyball tournament is going to be played in Mankato and Wilson. there's a rotation in Beloit's league every 4 or 5 years. They host it, maybe more, I don't know. So when that happens, the league had to decide what we're going to do with the league volleyball tournament, and the top 8 teams will go to Mankato, the bottom 5 will go to Wilson. That's kind of the way that's going to be played, with the plan going back to Beloit as soon as we can.
Anything else for Mr. Starkey? Anyone? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Busy time of the year again.
It's dance season.
Yep, dance season.
Mrs. Nada gave the elementary report. A lot of things going on there. Roof, that's why we're in here today. We're still hopefully get the roofers here. They've been here the last Friday and Saturday. Luckily, we had some water in the vault in Mr. Starkey's room, so we had to move a lot of the stuff from the vault into my room. The good thing is, kind of a godsend, that we were hosting that tournament Sunday, or we moved to Sunday. Otherwise, we wouldn't, because that's when we found it. If we came in Monday, we'd have really had a mess. So things happen for a reason, I think. But they did move a lot of water off. Got the ice off the last couple of days. Dave did some work Thursday, and then the roofers were here Friday and Saturday and did some patching. So hopefully it will help a little bit with the supposedly upcoming rains coming. So kind of worried about that. So
When do you expect
we ever get what's that?
When do you expect them back?
Well, as soon as we get some where they can get 45-degree weather for a couple of weeks.
Wet.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the roof's got to be dry.
And you
now.
start sending me emails that it's going to be 70 degrees and sunshine, and you said all these emails that it's going to be a blizzard. Or
I think I got
Yeah.
10 today.
Blood now.
And it's going to be tornadoes.
I don't control that.
Kind of worried about now about the buses getting around in the rain. We'll see. Yeah.
Actually, if it were to rain a half an inch, a good hard rain would probably help pipe the roads down.
Down.
It would probably help some of the roads. It's not going to help portion outs and low water crossings and fences and all that, but it probably would help the roads.
But yeah, as soon as we get some clear weather, they'll be back. I mean, like I said, they were here, talked to them today, and I think they were at Tesket High School today too, also. So anyway, boilers, like I said, the boilers have been delivered. He's doing a lot of got those 2 of them set, and then he'll start working on removing the old ones and then connecting the boilers, and then also he's doing all the registers in each room. So we'll have those done before the year's over, hopefully. Anyway, that's his plan.
So we can go look at them next month, maybe?
Yeah, that'd be good. Hopefully.
We have our
Yep.
meeting over there, right?
Yeah, to remind me. Yep, sure can. Good. Storm shelters also put some bids in the paper, trying to get some more bids. One of the things I found out, I've had some other companies from out of state give us bids, and I put a couple of them in the paper to acquire more bids. The good thing about this, the person that we've got, he can do everything. He can do the inspections. All the dirt has to be, everything's got to be with the FEMA's got to be inspected. Every step, the cement, everything. And a lot of the companies that have bid can't do it. They've got to hire someone else to do it, so that drives up the cost, or then they have to try to get somebody else to do that. So that's one of the good things about him. But like I said, we've got to have some other bids, so that's what I'm looking at. So trying to get some more bids on those. But he is, and I did talk to the people that that he's done it for the other schools, and they've all given him a really good recommendation. So that's kind of his business. So anyway, still working on that. As far as the legislative, just a couple of bills I want to point out. Senate Bill 22. approved in the House. It would give corporations a significant tax break. It helps some individual filters. Their itemized reduces state sales tax on food from 6.5 to 5.5%. And it would reduce revenue by about $200 million for next year. School finances, Senate Bill 142, which would add $92 million to the fiscal year and help for its education bill. Measure will go to the full Senate, although there is a lot of controversy with that, and we'll see where that goes. You're talking about emergency Senate Bill 128, going back, which will require at least 9 safety drills to be conducted by schools each year. And Senate Bill, here's one for the Boards of Education, Senate Bill 7, which would allow school boards to elect officers in January rather than wait till July, since they take office in January. And the other one, a couple more. One of them, House Bill 2257 and House Bill 2150, which would allow students who report being bullied or report an incident to receive, or an incident to the state, or they'll have some governing agents that kids will report to. They can receive vouchers to attend another school or a private school. Kind of, yeah, I don't know if that will get out, but anyway, that's just something that is out there.
A little bit about that one. That looks like a gas.
I think that's all I have.
Rhonda, do you have anything else?
What was anything?
Pam, anything for us? Nothing? That's good. The clerk doesn't have anything for us. That's good. Mr. Starkey? Mr. Doe?
I just appreciate the school district allowing me to have this exercise and the district being a part of it. And thank you, Pam, for all your due diligence and beating the kids up when they come for lunch. Thank you.
I don't think I have anything.
No. I have, just opened up the mail that Pam handed me tonight. I have a ballot that we need to fill out, send back for board of directors for the Board of Education. Mr. Steckon recommended the guy from Smith Center, Bob Dietz, and has this read, if everybody wants to look at these, simply for the fact that he's a Western Kansas guy.
He's the only one I really know.
That he knows him. And then I have another ballot. Is anyone besides David interested in being on the appeal board? Well, your name's already written in there.
You keep saying that.
Huh?
You keep saying that.
No, seriously, if anybody's interested in that, we can write your name in.
That's all right.
Don't need to?
No.
Okay. she can send it, but there is, so we'll check. Still need some this there. All right. Yes, there's an envelope. Well, I can see it, but there's an envelope. Let me turn the envelope a little bit.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Other than that, I don't think I've got anything else.
Can I ask you a question, Mark? On the people that are running for, or coming up for board members, I can't remember. Is it in sections still? Like each person has a certain area?
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
like Rhonda, what is yours area?
Lucas Lorraine.
Yours is Lucas, Lorraine.
Mm-hmm.
Kendra is
Lucas Lorraine.
Lucas Lorraine too then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Never told me.
And then Mark, yours is,
I'm the outlaw.
you're at large, okay? And then David, yours is
Up in the Denmark,
Denmark.
Hunter area, the far northeast part of the district.
I knew there had to be an at-large person. I was trying to figure out who that one was.
That's me.
Okay,
Mark's
got it.
large, yes.
Yeah, I'm large.
Thank you.
I do what?
Is it divided more than just east-west?
My position?
All of them?
No, I think it's just two.
I think, yeah, I thought it was just
You
east-west.
know, we spent a lot of time dividing
That's
them
what, right.
when we did
I
the
thought it was just
transfer.
east-west, so, yeah.
That's what I was
No.
thinking. There was something. There's this
It's
side and this side. And that's
yeah, it's
it.
just-
It wasn't
yeah.
this part and
No,
this
no,
part.
no, it's just
Right.
east-west.
That's
Yeah.
what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Because
There
when we
was.
combined, that
So
was a big thing.
Virgil is
Okay.
East.
East.
Yeah, east, and Danelle is west.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we got 3 east, 3 west.
So where's
One
the
at large.
line? Where's the north-south line to split?
Well,
Or-
that was based on, had to be
It's
based on
based on the census.
population.
Right.
I've got the map. I can show you the map.
Okay. I was just kind of
We-
curious.
that
I
was
thought that's
one-
what it was. There was only 2 different divisions. It wasn't like 7 divisions or
Right,
6
exactly.
divisions and an at-large. But okay, that's what I
When
was
they
trying to remember.
went through that, when the state went through it, they had different ways of doing it.
Yeah, it was.
That's probably when we did the transfer.
The
We probably spent more time actually on that than we did anything else. Getting that,
Yeah,
getting that
make
right.
sure there
Yeah.
was. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know that was a big.
Probably Rhonda, you and I were the only 2 on it that time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we spent a lot of time on that,
Mhm.
Okay, so
getting
that
that
was.
right.
Thank you.
Yep. Anything else? Anybody? All right,
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
we moved and seconded that we adjourn. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
That look is cool.
Yeah.
That was,
That's neat. That was really neat. Yeah.
No, I did all the, did Angie do that?
Yeah.
She has to have
yeah,
to
that's something. Yeah.
So each
First
child
grade.
got one?
I do
You
not
have
know
to
that.
Yeah,
had
they
to
can.
purchase them. But
Yeah,
she
they can.
said they came out with a soft cover,
Oh.
so that was a little bit
So then
cheaper.
it's-
Yeah.
Because I got to
All the
see
kids
them. She showed them to me the other day, and she's like, they have soft covers. I like, because we did it many years ago, and I was like, oh, that's so nice because parents have to pay for them. They're pretty pricey, and I was kind of surprised. But I had a lot of my parents buy them, but she did say they have a soft cover now, so they were pretty reasonable, which was pretty cool.
But she told me what the price was. I didn't think it was too bad.
No, I asked her. They're not too bad. They do that. And I think it's done here in Kansas too.
Yes.
And the one she got was like I think out of Topeka even. So, but it was. She said it was fun. They had a good time with it.
Coming at $19.95. That includes shipping and handling.
Yeah, I think mine were like 20.